Welcome to the Risk Taker Podcast. I'm your host, Evans, man. How you guys feeling today? I hope you guys feeling amazing, having an amazing week, having an amazing weekend, man. Listen, each day that God give you, go out there, bless somebody with your skill, with your gift, man. Let's get into this conversation. I have James in the podcast, man. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing blessed. I'm
Yes,
blessed.
sir. Yes, sir,
Highly
man.
favored.
Oh, man. How you feeling, man?
I feel great. I feel great. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for reaching out.
Welcome inside the Risk Taker Mobile Podcast Studio, where dream chasers, entrepreneurs, and leaders share the risks, the lessons, and the journey behind their success. Our mission is simple: inspire you to bet on yourself and chase your dreams.
For the people that's watching it, that's listening, that doesn't know who you are, who's Jim is, like, can you tell a little bit about yourself and what you're about? And we could go again in the conversation.
You know, somebody asked me this recently, but simply put, James is a creative, business owner, father.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and husband. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. What, throughout your journey, right? Throughout your journey, what one risk that you took that changed the whole thing for you? What one decision that you took, bet on yourself, on your dream? Like, what was that one thing that you did, man?
That's a great question. I would say the biggest risk I've ever taken was to not listen to the crowd. I think I've always been an underdog, or the black sheep, if you will.
Yep.
And you know, when you're younger and you're immature, you look at that as a curse. But as you get older and you get wiser, you realize God was setting you apart, and it's a reason for it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, everything you went through was leading up to something else. And so, you know, when you go through these certain trials, you Jesus. When you go through these certain trials, your skin is thicker to be able to endure and to process it differently than your immature self would have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the biggest risk I've ever taken was realizing that it's a blessing to be a black sheep. You know, many are called, few are chosen.
Yep.
Yeah. Take the path less traveled.
Yep.
Yeah. Do it scared, do it nervous, but do it.
Do it. You know what's so funny? You know what's so funny that you said do it scared? Just yesterday, was it yesterday, I believe? And we had another guest on the podcast, and she was amazing, and she said the same thing. Do it scared, just do it.
Just do it, man.
Just do it, man. It's funny that you
Nike.
Nike is not sponsored the podcast, but just do it, man.
I'm Adidas too, right here.
But how did you come with that? Like, you have a dope business, man. Like, man, like I was doing some research and I was reading about it. Like, how did you come up with this business idea, man? This
great question. Another great, man. You got good questions, brother. I love it. So, my life changed. My viewpoint changed on life when I was 20. I was a bank teller, and I was a part of this network marketing group. I was trying to find, like, what am I going to do? Like, what is my end? Right? What's my mark? How am I going to make my mark in this world? And for those who don't know, when you're part of a network marketing business, you have a leader, like an upline, right? Yep. And so my upline just happened to be a married couple, a black couple, and the husband was big on finance. And he told me to read this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
You talking?
And
you talking,
man. I'm a bank teller, right? So there's at least anywhere from $80,000 to $100,000 plus is going through my hands every day. And so I'm reading this book about money, and then my viewpoint changed on money. I'm like, yo, it really is just a tool.
What you wear should say something before you ever speak. OWIG apparel was created for the dream chasers, the risk takers, and the ones building something bigger than themselves. From our signature hoodies, tees, jerseys, and jogger sets, every piece represents a mindset. Use code RISKTAKER for 10% off your first purchase at owigapparel.com. Now, back to the episode.
So how it came about was I read this book, right? And I said, okay, I'm going to do something with my life. Like, I'm going to make a mark somewhere, right?
Yep.
And so went to school. Shout out to Wilmington University. I went to school for studio production, digital filmmaking. And what's interesting is, wow, I don't know if all right, I'll share that too. So I was in school for marketing, hated it, right?
Okay.
And so then I left. And for those who don't know, when you leave school without graduating, you got to bill if you ever want to come back. You got to pay that before you go back to school. So I'm in school for marketing, hated it, got out, started living with my dad. Had differences with him. It was a toxic environment. And so I always wanted to be an actor. So back then they had these flip camcorders. I don't know if you remember.
I remember them.
Yeah, with the USB.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember them.
So I was working at Harris Casino overnight. All my friends, they would sleep when I get off. And I'm dealing with my biological father who, alcoholic, things of that nature. And so not seeing eye to eye. I'm like, what can I do I need an outlet. So I went to Kmart. Not even around no more, right?
Yeah.
And I bought this flip camera. I started documenting myself. And I started recording him talking at me because I couldn't talk to him at those points. So I would just record him talking at me. And then I would record myself later of what I wanted to say to him. And then I would cut it together and turn it into a video that I put on YouTube. This was back in 2009. Wow. So I got like a whole series of these chronicles of conversations with him and differences with him, living with him. And so I'm like, whoa, this is cool. And I was reaching people. Like my friends was telling me, yo, I was going through that. Or people at work was like, yo, I saw your video, man. That was cool. Like I can vibe with that. So I'm thinking, what can I do with this?
Yep.
Went to Wilmington University. Went to school for studio production, digital filmmaking. Now I'm back in school. I love it. I'm on a dean's list every semester. I'm getting to school before the staff get to school. You know what I mean? And I'm just locked in. And so then I graduate. The year I graduated is the year I met my wife. I thought I was on my way to California to be a director, be in the industry, things of that nature. God had another plan.
Yep.
So met her that year and getting to know her. She was teaching, I think she was like 15 years in at that point, and she was rapping since she was 9. Brother, I heard her rap. I'm like, yo, she got bars. Then I saw her teach, and I hated math growing up. I'm like, math? But how she taught it, I'm like, yo, she could teach. So I pitched it to her. I said, you should be a hip-hop math teacher. She said, that's stupid. She shot it down for 2 years. 2 years, man. Then she finally came around. We cut the album in 2015. Lyrical Math Part 1. And then 2016, we went out for Shark Tank. And we got past the preliminary round. It was a great experience. But at the end of the summer, the producer called me and was like, hey, it didn't work out this season, but we recommend you, apply again because you have a family-oriented product for a family-oriented show.
Sure, yeah.
But it was a blessing. Never applied again, but what it did, it showed me that there was a market for what we had. And so 2015 created the album, and then from 2016 to about 2022 was fleshing out a curriculum. Yeah, It took that long. But we have this now data-proven and research-based hip-hop math intervention program, all online, taught all online through over 120 videos. That's nice, we sell that to school districts, YMCAs, PALs, any youth organization that has an educational arm.
Wow. And it just, that thought, and funny you say your wife shut it down twice.
Twice.
And funny thing, I'm glad that she didn't the third time shut it down, because if
she shut it down for 2 years,
for 2 years. But it's because you said something, create. you find something that you could create.
Yes.
Find a market for it.
Yes.
You create something.
Yeah.
God give you the vision and you went and you create that.
That's
thing.
what I was telling your wife, Gigi. I said, God gave me a vision back in like 2014, 15. Woke me up out my sleep. And what I was sharing with your wife is God does not give his children vision without provision.
Yes.
I've never had to want building lyrical math. It's always come from the pocket.
Yep.
And what I had and then what we had.
Yep.
So I'm thankful. Like it's like whatever contracts we get, whatever contracts come into the business are reinvested back into the business. Like you don't see me splurging out here with nice cars and a bunch of fancy clothes and all that. My job really is to engage students and innovate the education experience for them. So I'm constantly thinking about how can I reinvest the dollars back into the product and the service to make it more engaging for the students we serve.
Sure. And we're going to talk about all the success, all the stuff that you're doing, man. Like now people might look at you, man, say, James, man, you are successful of what you're doing, man. Like, no,
Glory to God.
And what they don't see is that they don't see the failure, the lesson that you have to go through. No. And on the podcast, man, we always talk about that because the failure, you learn a lesson from it, right? Mm-hmm. But some people don't like to talk about the failure. They talk about the success. I want to start the conversation, man. What's one of your greatest failure, right? Okay. And you probably have so many. And how did you overcome those failure? Now we could talk about them like now throughout this journey. Now that you was in, like you went through some stuff.
Yeah, I'm going through some stuff now. Yeah.
So that's what we wanna talk about, man. Because people that's listening, that's watching this, as a risk taker, yeah, you took a risk on your dream. You took a risk. You bet on yourself to make this thing happen.
Yes.
But along the way, you had some failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that, man.
Let's see. All right, let's talk about it. What's the first thing where you want to start? Like
what's
the biggest risk or what's the biggest failure?
What's the biggest failure or the biggest lesson that you learned, and how did you overcome that?
The biggest lesson that I learned and how did I overcome that? The biggest lesson I learned is to keep going. No, I'm so serious on that one, man. The biggest lesson I learned is to keep going. And you can't stop. Like when God gives you, like if a person is like, I want to eat, and then he's giving you the plate to eat, it's time to eat.
Yep.
Everybody talks about taking risk, but not everybody moves. The Risk Taker. Ignition Box was built for the ones who move. Included inside is a signed copy of Dream Chasers, our Risk Takers, the 90-day execution book, our signature Dream Chaser tee, and our exclusive Risk Taker cap. This is your uniform for your next 90 days. You wear this and you better be ready to back it up. Pre-order now at thedynamicduospeaks.com.
You know, the harvest is here, right?
Yep.
And it's plentiful, but the laborers are few, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And so you're going to go through adversity. You're going to go through trials, especially when you don't come from that.
Yeah.
Come on. Like you're not born from something. This is all uncharted territory. You need faith. You need God. You need scripture. You need support. You need other lions with you. Iron sharpens iron. You need all that because you're going to go through, you're going to be put in the fire.
Yep.
But you're not going to smell like smoke.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
You're not going to be smelling like smoke, man. And knowing ahead of time, wisdom, when you are doing something that's never been done before, you're going to go through things you've never gone through before. The biggest lesson I've learned is to not stop. Keep going. You might go sideways sometime, but make sure when you go sideways, you're still going forward.
Yep.
Don't go sideways and backward.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then if you start going sideways, stop. Don't keep going sideways. Stop. Collect yourself. Control what you can control. And then get back in line. Because scripture say a just man falleth 7 times, but get back up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
You know what's so funny is that because some people, man, life gonna, like you say, as being an entrepreneur, life gonna it's gonna knock you down.
Yeah.
Or adversity. You're gonna have stuff that come in your way, but are you built for that? No? Are you built for that? Because not everybody that could be an entrepreneur. Not everybody, right? Are you built for that? Because you're gonna go through, even me talking to you, like I go through some stuff that.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Like when you say not everybody is built to be an entrepreneur, it's like, what do you mean by that?
What I mean is that it's not for everybody.
Why?
Well, let me put it that way. Because a person could be working, and nothing wrong with working for somebody else, right?
Yeah.
And they could be working and they have a side hustle that they build on the side. I know so many people that have a job and they are a real estate investor. They're building businesses while they're still working. They don't want to take the whole risk, even though they built something, but they don't want to take the whole risk. Because I know people that have that been in a job for 10, 15 years and they built a solid business. Yeah. But they know what, like, I built this, I'm not ready to give this one.
So that's why you say entrepreneurship not for everybody?
It's not for everybody. It's the stuff that you go through. Like people only see like the success, only see like, oh, you making, as an entrepreneur, you making money, you doing all this, but some people ain't built for it, man. Some people ain't, because you're gonna go through failure.
No. Like, and I only question that because what you shared, a lot of people share.
Yep.
But for me, I look at it and say entrepreneurship is literally your appreciation to the creator, right? Like your faith. You demonstrate you have faith through entrepreneurship. You cannot be an unfaithful person and being an entrepreneur. I just don't see it, because it literally is faith. If you don't have faith, how you an entrepreneur?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like if you're born with a silver spoon, I wouldn't call yourself an entrepreneur. I think an entrepreneur is somebody that understands problem solution, right? And most entrepreneurs, the problem is, I ain't got no money.
Yeah.
Where am I starting at? But by you literally asking, praying, seeking wise counsel, and you find out where your niche is, you unlock that light bulb hit.
Yep.
And then, okay, once that light bulb hit, you got to activate your faith. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You got to put your resources behind it and you got to go all in.
Yep.
And so by you doing that, it's an appreciation of like, God, I know you're real and you will never leave me nor forsake me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And he gives you creativity. He impregnated his children with he is creative.
Yeah.
He is the epitome of creativity. So as an entrepreneur, if you're creative when it comes to finance, creative when it comes to solving a problem, entrepreneurship, it's all faith, all of it. So if you believe in God, you should be an entrepreneur. I don't see why you're not. So if you say, when a person is like, it's not for everybody, I'm like, everybody don't have faith. That's where I got you. That's where I'm coming from.
No, I got you.
But see, real recognize real.
Yeah.
Because people go to church.
Yep.
And they put on a whole cloak and they make it seem like they know.
Yep.
But you know by your labor. That's Matthew. You'll know them by their fruits.
Yep.
Man. You said only 30 minutes.
No.
We can
talk. You said something niche, right? And find a solution, right?
Problem solution.
Solution, right?
Yeah.
And we was talking about faith, and I say that on the podcast a lot, man. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you need to have faith, like we say, right?
You have to.
There's a quote that I wrote: "My faith in God creates success in me." Because without faith in God, all the stuff that I achieve with my wife, I would not have it, right? So faith goes along, because man, you're gonna, like I said, man, you're gonna hit a roadblock. You're gonna, as people, as human, man, we're gonna hit something in life that's gonna,
my goodness, yes,
that either could wipe you or you wipe that thing. No,
yeah, that's it.
That's it. So you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith. And my faith, and I say this, my faith, it's in God. It's in God.
It has to be.
So I'm glad that you mentioned that, man.
Yeah. But just another risk, I would say when we were starting Lyrical Math, man, I had this brilliant idea. I'm like, we're going to go to Philly and we're going to do the I think it's Pan-African festival that happens every year. And got in touch with the person, and I'm talking about this 2016, right? We just cut the album 2015, and I got in touch with the person, and I'm like, yeah, how much is it to be a vendor? And they told us, and I'm like, oh, we're going to sell so many CDs. CDs were still a thing back then. Yeah. And I remember we took out a loan for $8,000. So we can get X amount of units, and we're like, we're going to sell this and we're going to make this much money because this is how many people are there. You know, when you starting out with your product and service, everybody wants it.
Yep.
Don't nobody, if they, who wouldn't want what I just created, right? Yep. Like, no. So we took out $8,000 loan. I think we might have sold like 40 units. We only sold 40 units, man. And that was a huge lesson because, you know, that saying fight, flight, or freeze, you know who you are based off your challenges.
Yep.
And we could have just tucked tail and been like, that's 8,000. Oh, man. No, because God gave me the vision.
Yep.
So it was just like, okay, what didn't work? Why didn't it work? Sit at the table, figure it out. You know, this was a minor speed bump.
Yep.
You know, and this is before I knew about Nipsey Hussle. So, you know, minor setback for major comeback. Yeah.
Yep.
This is before then.
Yep.
This is scripture.
Yep.
Before the bars.
Bars.
Right. But yeah, so that was a huge lesson, a huge risk to go out and get a loan.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah. To get a loan for your business. No, I don't agree with those tactics. I don't think you should ever start a business on loan. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I got you, man. What's some of your greatest success, man? Like something that
greatest success.
Yeah, something when you look at it, say like, man.
Oh my! I have to share this.
Yeah, please do, man.
All right, so, man, I'm so thankful to be here, y'all. Cause the story, it's like a movie, man. Sometimes I look back and I recall, and I'm like, wow. So, created the album 2015. We had a fleshed out version of curriculum late 2016. And I went straight to DOE in Delaware. Went straight to Department of Education. Because again, when you create something, who's not going to want this? Everybody wants it.
Yep.
And so DOE, they looked at it. They're like, oh, this is cool. But, you know, we don't have any jurisdiction on letting districts know what curriculum they should purchase. You have to go to each district and shop this curriculum. Okay, go to each district. This is cool. I think one of them might have said this is cute. But you're gonna have to go to every school. Like we can't get this for the schools. This is 2017 at this point. I'm like, okay, we go to different schools. Some of the principals, they appreciate it. They saw the value in it. And they're like, yeah, like, okay, let's try this. And a lot of them were like, no. I'm talking about 99% of them was like, no. Okay. And, we hit a lot of no's from 2016 to 2018. Yeah, 18, 19. Okay. So was shifted. How many years is that?
About three from 2016 to 2019. So close to 3 years.
That's 3 years of no's. I'm just trying to set the tone right here, paint the picture, create the foundation. 3 years of no's, right? And actually, the first no we got, we created the album 2015, right? I remember when we had the first album in our hand, we drove all the way to some place in Pennsylvania I've never even heard of because we were just listening to the whole album. We just drove in the car listening to the whole album. And we were just appreciating what we created, right? And I remember we saw this mom and her daughter somewhere in Newcastle off of like where Newcastle Avenue, where Bolarama is. And I saw her, it was the summertime. She had her convertible. I said, can you pull over in this parking lot over here? I got to show you something. And so she's like, okay, right? So she pulls over. Her daughter's in the front seat. Daughter probably was like 12 years old. I said, put this in your car. Put this in the seat. Put it in. Tell me what you think. This is me, right? Wow. I believe.
That's bold,
I believe.
Man. That's bold.
She's like, okay, keep in mind, she was playing Drake before she took the CD. She put the album in. They're listening to the first track called You Know Me about multiplication. And she's listening to it. Our beats are fire, right? We got a local producer here in Delaware, MP Beats. Shout out to MP Beats. And she's listening to it. And then she pops it, she ejects it in maybe a minute and 15, 30 seconds in. And she said, this was nice. And then she said, looked at her daughter and said, what you think? Dang. I said, wait a minute. Do you ask your daughter what she think about when she go to school? Do you want to do this work? Did you want to learn division? Or are they supposed to know division? Are they supposed to learn? Are they supposed to learn multiplication and division? Right?
Yep.
And so the fact that she put that power in her daughter's hands, my mom was like, we got an uphill battle. The daughter don't know us, right? We just created the album. She's never heard anything like this before. She's like, it's okay. Because it's about education.
Yep.
So she was like, oh, okay, thank you. Gave it back to me. Turned back on Drake, drove off. I remember I told my wife, we got an uphill battle because we have to literally educate the community on why they need this as a resource.
Yep.
Our kids are failing nationally on a national level, not just Delaware, but on a national level. Math and ELA scores are in the toilet.
And you need math.
You need math you need to know how to read.
Yep.
How you going, brother?
That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, so that's 2015 when this album was created, when that happened, that first no. And so 3 years of no's, right? And then 2019, I went after a RFP in Houston, one of the largest districts in the country, right? And I filled out all the paperwork. Me and my brother, we worked on it. It was over 50 pages. And then we had to submit it by mail. So I had to submit a binder of the whole proposal to Texas, a place I've never been to. And I remember we got the email. Maybe it took like 3-4 months. Got an email said, congratulations, you're board approved. What? Houston? One of the largest districts in the country. Okay.
I'm onto something.
So, brother, I was planning out all the schools. I'm going there to introduce lyrical math to all of them. Right?
Yep.
COVID hit. 2020. Pivot.
Yep.
There's no excuse.
Yes, yep.
We board approved.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. Oh, I'm validated.
Yep.
It's all up from here. COVID hit, cool. We pivoting. My wife came to me. She said, I think we should start popping up at local parks, county parks, and doing free 30-minute hip hop math classes. What? When I met this woman, I just want to share this. When I met her, I was graduating college. I was literally in my last semester. I met her on the road coming back from Chick-fil-A. I said, come to the parking lot at my school, Wilmington University. Yep. Let's finish this conversation, because we was having it at a red light. So she left me with, the first day I met her, she left me with, Mr. Finney, we got a lot of work to do. Vision, sketch, apply. No woman ever talks to me like that. I need to know more about who this is.
Yeah.
Vision, sketch, apply.
Yep.
I say that because throughout the whole process of creating lyrical math, we visualized it, every element of it, every component, we sketched it out, and then we applied it. So when she's like, we need to pop up at local county parks and do free hip hop math classes, because I don't know if you remember, education was on its head. It was everything was stood still.
Yep.
Trump shut it all down. right? So, I mean, parents home, kids home.
Yep.
Parents don't know how to educate them. They're like, what am I going to do with them?
Yep.
So we literally showed up. We showed up at the first park was Glasgow Park on Route 40. And I created a Jotform, freeform, jotform.com,
Yep.
and we opened it up. The first class, we had 15 reservations. And I brought those, those gym mats that you connect like puzzles?
Yep.
I brought them and we had to put them 6 feet apart. And I think we had a max of 20 students per class that we could accommodate. And so we had 15 RSVPs, the first class.
Yes.
One student showed up. One parent, which was a dad, and his daughter showed up. And I remember this was a test.
Yep.
Right? Fight, flight, or freeze. And talked to my wife. She said, I'm going to go out and teach this student like it's 20 people in this class. Yes. And that's exactly what she did.
Yep.
And from that point on, the next class we had about 16, and then they just started filling up. And then we started getting inquiries, parents coming from Maryland and parts of PA for a 30-minute hip hop math class. The most beautiful time I remember in this space in 2020, the summer of 2020, we were at Tallyday Park, where the soccer field is, in the corner, because it was a tree for shade. And we had a max class, and she had her 2 whiteboards. She's teaching, and the parents were all along the side. And some of them had blankets laid out, and they had their newborn, the mom. The dad was in his chair, might have had a drink with him, but the parents was literally looking at their children learning, and they were looking at who was teaching them. And I was like, yo, I think I even might have shedded a tear, because I'm like, if this is not what it's supposed to look like, I don't know what it's supposed to look like.
Yep. It
was the most beautiful, like, surreal thing I've ever saw. And, wow. So since that time, we got a contract with the county. We got a contract with the state. And the entrepreneurial lesson I learned from that was we had this product for years. And no. Right. And so it's like, why is these no's? We didn't have a service. So when COVID hit, we attached the service to the product. So now she went out and was teaching what we created, which educated the community on what we had. So now that they saw it, they're like, oh, that's when the conversation started happening with other schools. In Brandywine School District, Colonial School District, charter schools. A lot of our early on resume came from charter schools, though, not public schools.
Public school, man.
Yeah.
You said something, man. Like Mark Cuban said that. I was watching that the other day. Mark Cuban said you gotta be one time. You gotta be one time, just one. You're gonna get no, but you just gotta be right one time. One time.
Yes.
One time. And that's what your guys did. And I'm gonna go back having a spouse, man, having a spouse that walk alongside with you, that's in the vision with you, right? When it comes to that, because who you married could break you, could make you.
Jesus.
No?
Yeah.
We talk that a lot on
you
the
have
podcast,
to be
man.
selective.
Selective, man.
Yeah.
Talk about that part, man, having you met your wife and she said something nobody never tell you, right? And you went on and create this vision, right? How is it, man, to have a spouse that talk life into your vision and work on side with you, man? Like, talk a little bit about that, man.
That's a great question. And I'm thinking about how things came about. She was teaching, right? Before I met her. And she was rapping long before she was teaching. And so when I look at it, I feel like I was I feel like I was the spouse that was speaking life into her, not the other way around.
Okay.
Because, I went to school for studio production, And I thought I was going to be an actor and a director. I told you I was going to California, right? That was the reason I went to school. It was to create a better YouTube channel. And this was before influencers, and we talking about 2008, 2009 YouTube.
Yep.
It literally just started coming out, right?
Yep.
And my agent, I had an agent at the time, and she was telling me, you need to keep doing these videos about your dad. I'm like, I didn't do this for I literally did this for an outlet, for therapy for me. So I didn't have plans on continuing to, what's the word I'm looking for? Exploit my dad and my family situation, my differences with him. I wasn't going to do that for likes and stuff.
Yep.
But at the same time, I went to school and, developed the skill set. So when I met my wife, I literally said to myself, I believe so much in her ability and the God I see in her talents that I'm going to put my acting career and put my directing career and the aspirations I had and not necessarily on hold, but and pour what I can into her. Cause I want her to shine as bright as she can, because students need teachers like her. Yeah. I knew that off the rip. I knew what she had to offer, the world needs. So, she's a great teacher and she can rap her behind off, right? So I'm like, what can I do to highlight her in the highest regard?
Yep.
And so that became my why for building Lyrical Math. It's been so many nights, bro, for months, man. I day in, day out, slept, eat, and breathe Lyrical Math. I created all the books, all the worksheets. I'm the one that went and sought with vendor to create the spiral bound book we have. All of that. I did that. It was a huge sacrifice. I was in front of the computer screen. If it's 24 hours in a day, which it is, 22 hours I was in front of the screen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of nights I wasn't even sleeping in the bed because my workstation was downstairs. I slept on the sofa just to wake up and get right back in the computer. So I understand the grind and what it takes to build, the sacrifice. So I say all that to say, I was the spouse who spoke life into her, because prior to meeting me, I mean, she had an opportunity to work with Def Jam to be signed. She told me the deal pretty much fell through because of some differences with her brother. Because she has a musical family. She has all 4 brothers and they all know something about music. And then she got aunts and grandmoms in church. She grew up in church. So music, that's her. She got that, right? But at the same time, when I saw her and when she was telling me her story, when I met her and said, you know what, I want to highlight you the best I can, it's because I saw people either try to mishandle her or just didn't highlight her the way she needed to be. You know what I'm saying? So I know God has put in me to always see things from a different perspective. A hip hop math teacher. Come on now. There is literally no hip hop math teacher in this country.
Yep.
When we was going after Shark Tank, I had to fill out a 30-page survey about this industry and who's your opponents, or what they say, your competition.
Competition, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's there was only one company out of New York. I'm not gonna get their names because they don't pay me. But one company out of New York, and I'm like, okay, if that's it, we got this.
We got this, yeah. We got this, man. You guys create this new game, man. Let's talk about that. This new.
Oh, so this is my baby.
This is your baby.
Yes, this is my baby.
Yeah,
so
last month. Was it last month? Right?
Last month.
Yeah.
Yes. Equate these buckets. I'm wearing a hat.
Yep.
I'm actually bald, but I'm just saying. So equate these buckets. As it says in the video, man, I always grew up in the community, Boys and Girls Club kid, and basketball was a way that I was able to meet my friends and just anywhere I go. Now, basketball is such a dope game, man. I can go anywhere, find me the local court, and then I can learn about the community. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. So now we're 11 years in with Lyrical Math. I've been full-time with Lyrical Math for 7 years now. It's a blessing.
Yep.
Yeah. It's truly a blessing. I'm so grateful to God for it. And so again, as I shared earlier, always constantly looking at how can JFIN TV engage students. And so Equate These Buckets is a game that I created where we have mats with math equations on it. And we split the groups up. We split the teams up into 15 players on each side of the court, and then they're under a clock, and they have to shoot the basket. They have to first stand on the mat, shoot the basket, make the shot, take that mat to their teammate waiting for them at the whiteboard, and write down the equation that was on the mat and solve it to get the points. Multiplication and division are worth 2 points. Addition and subtraction are worth 1 point. And we do 3 rounds, tournament style, right?
Yep.
So you got team A, team B, they go head to head, and then team C and D go head to head, and then the winner of both groups, they compete championship round. And we service 120 students doing
nice,
that. Yeah.
Man. That's nice, man.
Yeah, man.
You built, see what I love about this, man. You start with one thing and you build on it.
That's it.
Now you start with one, you built on it, and you didn't give, like, if you had give up, we wouldn't have this conversation.
No.
With the nose and your pivot and everything. If your guy had give up, said, you know what, man, I don't think we're just gonna stop. Sometimes we as entrepreneur, man, like that thoughts like of quitting too soon.
I've had that a few times. Just being honest.
We all have it, man. We all have it. We just having a conversation. Last time I had a podcast, same thing, man. Like the quitting, it's gonna come. But you gotta go back to the why.
The thought of quitting is gonna come. Yes.
But you gotta go back to your why.
Your why.
Why did you start this?
Yo, that's so
why
real.
Did you start this? No.
Everybody I talk to that want to be an entrepreneur, want to be in business, the first thing I ask them is why.
Why?
Because you know what? I saw the guy on YouTube. Excuse me, sir. That guy, School of Hard Knocks.
Yep.
So I saw the interview he did with Tony Robbins. And Tony Robbins said, your why has to be bigger than you.
Yep.
Because you as a person, we don't need a lot. So if it's just us, we're going to gas, we're going to quit. The moment we get hit with opposition, we're going to I could do something else.
Yep.
Your why has to literally be about someone else. It has to be about, and then if it's not just about someone else, but if it's about a body of people, you know what I'm saying? Yep. The bigger your why is, oh my goodness, you'll be able to push past anything. Type of vice or, deception the enemy tries to bring.
Yep. Yeah, man. I'm glad that we talk about that, man. Now what advice? So I'm gonna give you two things, tips, or what advice would you have for somebody that's on the edge, right? They want to take a risk.
Okay.
They want to bet on themselves. Like they have something, they create something, but they want to just take that leap of faith. What advice would you give that to that person? What tip would you give that to that person? The person that's been in the game 7-10 years and they want to go to the next level. They have this idea, man, I want to take my business next level. I want to pivot.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to?
So that's two different people.
That's two different people.
The first one.
The one that's on edge, they create something already, but they afraid to make that first step, man. Like they're afraid to take that risk. What advice would you give? What tip or what advice would you give that person?
They're afraid.
They're afraid. Like, yo, I create this thing, man. Like I have.
Why? First, I want to know why, right? Why are you afraid, right? And then why do you want to? Why are you afraid and why do you want to? I mean, these are two actually really good questions because my dad, biological dad, when I told you alcoholic, well, I'm not a doctor. I don't know if he's alcoholic. He just drinks a lot. Point is, he's a smart man. And he knows numbers. And he wanted to get in real estate, right? I'm just giving you a backstory to answer that question. And he never followed through. He did all the research. He had this huge perspective, I think it's called. And he presented to a board, and it could have almost went for him to get financing, but he backed out of it. And then he didn't pivot to start it a different way. So I say that to say he did all the legwork as a researcher, but the follow through wasn't there. So when somebody's on the edge and they want to start a business, but they just haven't done it yet, why haven't you done it? And then why do you want to do it? And then if that's not your strong suit to be that person that's going to push through, then delegate. Because if it ain't yours, if you the researcher, you need somebody that's going to be the starter.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You might be the dude that can run the 400, but you need that 100-yard dash person.
Yep.
They going to cash out after 100, but just pass that baton.
Yep.
You're going to need to delegate. And as long as, and I learned that through Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite book.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you got to realize, see, that's why I love entrepreneurship, because you can't lie to yourself. If you're weak in this area, okay, who do I have to partner with, or what organization do I have to team up with to be strong for the good of the company?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, man. You say, I like that. I like that, man. What advice would you give to the other person like that's been in the game?
Oh, that's 17 years,
17.
and now they like
they want to take. They have this idea like, yo, I want to pivot. Oh, I have this product. I want to take my business to the next level. Like, what advice would you give or tips?
It's only 24 hours in a day. You can't be everywhere at once. So find a way to duplicate yourself. So for us, she was teaching, right? And I think I might have shared earlier, she had these songs that over the years of 15 years that she would be teaching. I shared it with your wife outside. She had these songs that she created while in the classroom. But I remember telling her, only 60 of these kids can hear it that you have every year. Yep. What about all the hundreds of millions or hundreds of thousands who don't get that would like to receive that level of teaching? And so I remember going to work one day. I said, I'm going to work, write out how many songs you created over these 15 years. When I came back home, she had 9. I said, create one more track. We got an album. Right. So, what I'm sharing that because she duplicated herself. She can't rap every day. She don't have to rap every day now. Now there's an album where anybody can play it. Yep. And so we did the same thing with the curriculum. So when we had the curriculum built, I put her in the studio, and she recorded we recorded her teaching every page in the curriculum. So now she don't have to teach every day. Now we just selling licenses.
Yep.
So duplicate yourself. And then once you duplicate yourself, then you've leveraged your time that you can get back now. Yep. And now you can focus on automation. Yeah. Yep. So that's what I would tell the person that's 7 to 10 years in and is looking to scale.
How can people get in touch with you guys, man? Like so we're gonna put everything on the description, man. Like, how can people get in contact with you, man?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the email is support@lyricalmath.com. Yeah. And the website is lyricalmath.com. The Instagram is lyricalmath.com. But then there's also Instagram for Equate These Buckets. So yeah.
I love that, man. I love that, man.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how you can get in touch with us.
All right.
Yeah.
Any last word, man? Any last word before we end this conversation?
Absolutely. Can I look in the camera?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
If you have faith, if you know that you are God's child and you are a believer, and like Psalms 23, right? That he will never lead, he will lead you by the still waters, right? And he setteth a table before you in the presence of your enemies. If you believe that your head will be anointed with oil and your cup runneth over, get into entrepreneurship. He has blessed you with gifts and talents that you have to tap into. If you do not know what they are, go to seek wise counsel, pray, and find out what they are, and then go full on in to entrepreneurship. This world is looking for whatever the service that you have to provide. This world is looking for it.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it, man. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
You've been listening to the Risk Taker podcast, created for those who bet on themselves and build beyond limits. Make sure to follow us at Risk Taker Podcast, leave a review, and let us know how this episode inspired you. To get in touch, email teams@owigmultimedia.com. Until next time, keep taking the risk and keep chasing your dreams.